What's going on, guys? This is Eric from Gray Barn Golf coming at you with a GSPro how-to tutorial video. In today's video, we're going to be going through everything GSPro Practice Range, from how to load it up, how to navigate it, and all the different capabilities. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of my video, and we are going to go full screen and show you guys all the different awesome capabilities in the GSPro Practice Range. So here we are at the main GSPro start screen. If you guys haven't loaded it up before, this is what it will look like. If you're new to the simulator space, this should be pretty informative. So down below, we have the main tiles of local match, practice, challenges, sim golf tournaments, online match. You have different players up here. You can exit the program and also go into your settings. For today's video, we are going to be going through the practice range. So what you're going to do is go to the second tile here, practice. Now you have two options, Encore Practice, which we will go over in a separate video, but for today we're going to be focusing on the main practice range here in GSPro. So go ahead and select this left tile and just click on it with your mouse. From here, the GSPro range will start up. Takes a few seconds, gives you a couple pro tips down below. And just like that, we are loaded up on the GSPro Practice Range. So I have offset in terms of my simulator. So my center line and where my ball is going to be pushed over a little bit to the right. Yours most likely will be right down the middle, but everything here should look the same. So first and foremost, on the range, there's some different capabilities and some different functions that you can toggle on or off. First and foremost are all the data tiles. You can select all the data tiles that your heart desires. You can customize things. You can turn things on or off. What you want to do if you want to change things is just simply click on them, and you can drag and drop and select any of the data tiles that you want populated and you want to show up. So your max allowed is 12 data tiles. You can select any of them that you would like. Personally, I have these set up and I have these organized, but you can just drag and drop things. You can move them around to whatever suits your eye. From here, you can expand and make the mini map bigger. If you like to see where your shots are ending up and where it's going, you can even expand it to make it bigger just by clicking that button. I personally leave mine minimized, and it shows that we're on the tee here. After that, if you want to track your data, you can go down here to the left side. I have right-handed selected because I'm a right-handed player. If you have an overhead unit or you have lefties and righties that use your simulator, you can toggle this left-handed and right-handed, which is useful. In terms of data tracking, I usually, when I warm up before a round or I'm just hitting balls, I leave it on driver. But if you do want to track your data and you want to drill down into the individual clubs, what you'll want to do is select your individual club that you're hitting so everything is tracked. After you're hitting shots at the end of the range, you can go up here to the top left to this little clipboard icon, and it will give you a layout and a data table of every single shot that you hit with all the metrics here. And you can actually export it into a spreadsheet if you want to send it to someone or you want to drill down and look at any of your shots after the fact. After that, what we're going to do is go into some of the extra capabilities here in the driving range. So first and foremost, up here with this little white tile is where you can add an extra player. So you can add, usually one player is what I have. I just hit balls, but you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way up to 8 players if you want to make it a bit of a game. You can change the shots per round, how many you want to hit. Personally, I don't use this a ton, but it is there if you guys want to use it. You can change your scoring measurement from best to some to average and back to best. You can change the game mode from rounds or to elimination, and you can also set the number of rounds that you want to do from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or infinite. Personally, I don't use it a ton, but it is there if you guys do want to make a game out of it on the range. Next, we will go into the customizable features here. So if we go back to the home screen, in order to be able to toggle how the range is set up, you can change the distance up here just by sliding this. So you can bring the distance in, which will actually give you a green from anywhere from 22 yards all the way up to 412. Personally, I just leave that there and I hit balls out onto the range, which will act as a fairway. But if you do want to hit balls into a green and have it react, if you can see the flag there, you can do that. If you want to change things and customize things further, what we're going to do is click this little arrow drop down here. From here, we have a bunch of different options. So standard is what it's selected right now. You can change the width of the driving range. So if you look on the outside, it's bringing the width of the range from 11 yards all the way out to 109 yards, anywhere in between from what your preference is. From there, if we bring the green in a little bit to about 100 yards here, you can change the green width all the way down from 11 yards all the way up. Maybe if I bring it in a little bit, it'll be easier to show. You can see the circles here. You can bring it all the way up to 27 yards wide, all the way down to 11. Again, personal preference. You can change whatever you like. Another feature here which is useful is the randomizer. So you can toggle this on or off down here. You can click this and you can set the amount of shots that you want to have each time. So 1 shot and it'll change, 3 shots at the same distance and then it'll change, 5, 10, or 15, and you can set your maximum distance or your minimum distance. So if you have it set to 3, for example, it will change. If we bring this down, it'll change every 3 shots from 22 yards all the way up to 106 yards to be able to work on different distances, which can become very, very useful. Personally, for this, I prefer using the ladder feature, which is very, very useful for practice. So if we go ahead and click this, a lot of different options now pop up. You can do the quick presets for your short game, which will change the yardages here. You can do your full bag, or you can do your quick gaps if you have any gaps in your bags that you want to work on. But personally, what I do is I leave it on full bag, and I mainly use this for wedges. So the lowest that you can go is 25 yards, but I think it's very useful to work on shots from about 25 to 100. And the same thing that I just showed you with the randomizer, you can set all the different features here, so you can do how many shots are needed inside of the circle to be able to advance. So you can set it from 1 shot, 2 shots, or 3 shots. So if you really, really want to practice and really work on consistency and accuracy, you can have it set to 1 shot, 2 shots, or 3 shots of how many you want in the desired range in order to be able to move on. You can also set the attempts. So if you want to give yourself 1 attempt to be able to do it, 2 attempts, or 3 attempts, also useful. You can set up the distance gaps. So the distance step in between shots, meaning if we have it set to 25 up to 103, you can go from distances every single 5 yards. So it would go 25, 30, 35. You can also go 10-yard increments. So it'll go 25, 35, 45, all the way up to your desired distance. And you can even go up to 25 yards if you want to work on bigger gaps. From here, we can go and toggle between the total distance or the carry distance. So if you want to work on specifically where the ball is landing, or after rollout where it is, you can toggle between total and carry. Final 2 features here are the proximity you need in order to be able to advance. So you can set it from 5 yards, 10 yards, or what I personally do is 10%. So 10% of 25 yards being 2.5. As you go up to 100 yards, 10% of that would, of course, be 10 yards, so it gives you a wider variance and a wider margin of error for you to be able to go. And finally, you can set your fail mode. So if you fail, no matter what you have your attempt set to, you can either have it to bring you down 1 level, so you go back to the previous level and advance from there, or it brings you all the way back to level 1. And for example, if we click Start Ladder, it'll bring us here starting at distance level 125. You would need to have it for your desired shots. It will give you a check mark up here, and it'll show you if you missed it or made it. And you would have to hit either 1, 2, or 3 shots in the desired distance for you to be able to move on. From here, we'll go over to the playground, which I don't use a ton. A lot of these features are also in the dynamic holes, which we will go over last. But in terms of the playground, you can set up different ball locations in the pin. So right now it's at 1. If we toggle through these, you can see how the distances in the pin and the way it's looking is changing. A lot of cool different features here. You can go through a ton of different options for whatever you want. There are honestly endless possibilities here of what you can enable GSPro to do in order to suit your practice and what your desires are. After that, you can go to the aim point. So this will give you a different look into the pin, no matter which one you want. And finally, you can change your ball location of where you want to be hitting from into a desired green. Finally, from here, we'll go into the dynamic holes, which I honestly think is the coolest feature here within the GSPro range. So what you can do is you can build it out, or you can do random. Random meaning that you can have different shots and it can change, and you can randomize the height, you can randomize the distance, you can set your minimum distance, your maximum distance, which is really, really cool. It'll change every single shot you hit. So for this one, we have number of shots per, it's selected to 1. So after every single shot, it'll change between, for example, here, 22 yards and 88 yards. It'll change the layout of the green, how it looks, and the different style of pins to where you're hitting. Personally, I think the builder is really, really cool. So again, if we toggle through some of these options, we can change the green type. So we have hazel right now. If we toggle through these, we can go magnolia, different layouts of different signature world renowned courses. And as you can see, the layout of all these greens are changing, which is really, really useful and really, really cool. If you want to get a bit more out of your practice and practice a bit more like you play, you can change the layout of these greens and really, really dial in your practice. After that, we can go to the style and the architecture of how it's laid out. Right now it is peninsula. I think solid, a little more forgiving. You have bunkers there, you can get yourself into trouble. I think the island green is really, really cool. So, for example, for something like TPC Sawgrass on 17, you can practice going into an island green, give you a little bit less margin of error, but also on the flip side of that, makes you hit a little more accurate shots. But as you can see here, endless possibilities. You can change the pin locations anywhere from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. You can rotate all of these. So if you want to hit to a more narrow spot and really dial in your accuracy, you can do so. You can also change the pin location and hit to a bit of a fatter part of the green and give yourself a little bit more of a landing area if you want to do so. After that, you can change the distance. So you can bring it all the way from 22 yards all the way back. If you're a long driver and you want to hit into a green, an island green that's 429 yards, you can do so. And finally, what you can go into is the tee box height. So you can raise it up and hit down to where you're hitting an elevated tee shot down into a green. And that just about does it for this installment. If you guys are toggling through all the endless options here and you want to get back to your standard range, all you have to do is go ahead and click driving range, press apply, and now you're back to the standard range. The only last thing that we want to go over is if you find yourself stuck here and you want to get back to the home screen, you'll go ahead and click these 4 dots up here on the top right and click end round, which will bring you back to the GSPro home screen. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys got something out of that and there was some useful information. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and we will see you guys in the next one.